Hi guys, wanted to do a little demo on cross stitch finishing, namely round cross stitch finishing, so that you can finish your cross stitch into ornaments like these. I'm going to tell you the technique. We're going to do this one together if you want to stick around for the video, but if you're in a hurry, you don't have time, I'm just going to tell you the technique first so that you can do it with any square or round project. You're going to you're going to purchase foam core. Notice this has like an edge. We're going to pin into that edge. It's not mat board, which is really thin. It's foam core. So you're going to get foam core. You're going to get some quilt batting. You're going to have some sort of pins available. And you're going to have a permanent double stick tape. You can get the machine. This is fantastic. Or you can just use the little like tape things that people use if you don't. This thing is like kind of expensive. I think it's like $70 on Amazon. But if you're going to be finishing a lot of stuff, this will be like your best friend. But if you're only finishing one thing, start small. Just get yourself some permanent double stick tape on a roll. I'll put links for everything in the description. But basically, the method is you take your foam core and cut it to the size that your item is. Then you cut a matching piece of batting, quilt batting, and you take your item, let's say, for instance, we're working on this one today. You cut it. So I decided that this is my work surface, my actual surface that I want to show, this circle right here. I've actually marked it. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but I've actually marked it with this air and water soluble ink. This will go away once in like 24 hours. It'll just fade away. I've used this pen a lot, so I trust it, but maybe test yours out if this is your first project using it. So make the circle that you want or square that you want, whatever you're doing, and then give yourself some, I don't know, what is this? Almost an inch of extra fabric. You can never cut, too much extra fabric. I mean, it's easy to cut yourself not enough fabric. But in this case, I'm giving myself an extra bit here. And we're basically going to take our little foam core with our batting. We're going to wrap this around the way we want it. We're going to pin the edges. And then once we're happy, we're going to take our little tape gun and tape it, double stick tape it to the back. And then you'll have your little cookie with your item on it. And then you can make another one, a little bigger one with some fabric. Or you can make 3, they're easy to make. So you can make as many as you want. And then once you've got whatever you want, you turn it over, you tape your ribbon, a little bit of double stick tape in here for the ribbon. And then you put a piece of felt on the back or whatever. It's the back, so it doesn't obviously matter that much. So the other ones I've done with this method are this little dude. I did some fabric on the back. And then when I put this little bally thing on, there was still some of my ornament showing that I didn't like. So I put this little paracord on here. This one, don't copy this. This one, it's really lame. This was my first one. So don't judge this guy. And then one second, I'm just stepping away. And then this guy, I did the same method, but I just backed him onto a wooden thingy that I got from the craft store. Anyway, that's the method. So let's get it done. If you're going to frame a piece for cross stitch, it's the same method. You get the mat board, you get the quilt batting, and then you just wrap your item around and pin it so you know perfectly where it's going to be. And then once you have it perfect, then you just tape down your edges. This is a technique that is used by some pretty amazing finishers. Like, this is not just, I didn't just make this up. Wish I did, but I didn't. I was taught this by our local cross stitch store finisher who does everything using this gun, and her work is gorgeous and fantastic. So okay, here we go. So we've got our guy. We're going to cut him out. Like I said before, I decided I actually got this template, this bunch of templates from Amazon, and I used them for everything. And then I also bought these templates from Etsy. I'll put links, but they've been really helpful because then you can kind of sit here and decide, you know, what exactly, what you want shown, what you don't. You want a little bit to wrap around. So there's like an extra line of stitching here that's going to wrap around the side. Anyway, these patterns are all available on my Etsy. And when I get this pattern up on Etsy, I'm going to cut off a little bit of this so you don't have to be stitching till the cows come home, because that's like a lot of extra. So I'm even going outside of my circle just because I'm always so nervous, Nelly, about not having enough fabric to tape it down, but just cutting. Hopefully you can see and hear me. I guess I'll talk louder just because, I don't know, hopefully you can hear everything I'm saying. So we've got our mat board piece, and we've got our little, you know, this guy. So first we're going to take the mat board piece that I cut out to the dimensions I wanted and going to tape him on. So it's just like that. I mean, you can do more if you want, but there's no reason to go crazy. There's a dark bit on there because I was doing some dark fabric. There, he's stuck on there permanently. And then we're going to take this guy and just wrap him around where we want. I made myself a line that is going to disappear at some point. So I'm just going to kind of, this is much easier than needlepoint finishing because you don't have to pull as hard. There's not as much, the fabric is so much thinner that we use. I think this one's Ada. I used linen for some of, no, actually, oh, just this one. This one's linen. Oh, actually, this guy's linen too. And these are Ada, but anyway, technique's the same. So you get your guy where you want him. Hopefully there's enough light. You can see this. And you pin him. You're just pinning into the side. These pins are obviously going to come out. So I would do one side and then the opposite side, just to make sure that everything in the design is going to be, you know, visible. And then I guess I would go to the top here and to the bottom. So you're doing 4 kind of places. Ouch, don't pin yourself. And then I guess you would just go in between each pin. It's probably best. Like I said, these don't have to be in deep. They're just very temporary. They're just to make you happy with your placement before you go taping things down. Now this tape comes up. It's not, I mean, it's permanent, but you can rip your thing back off of it and it's not going to hurt it if you need to. I've done that when I've messed up in the past. So in this case, I mean, I think we're good. I could put some more pins in it if I want, but I don't really know that that's necessary. So I'm basically going to take my little gun here and go right around the edge. It's kind of, you know, you're making a circle with something that's straight. So I'm just kind of trying to get the tape right at the edges, and I'll show it to you before I cover it up. Okay. And if you do buy this, there's a YouTube video on how to load it. You've got to watch that. It's very confusing. Anyway, I don't know if you can see, but there's tape around the edges now. Hopefully that's totally not visible. Okay, well, anyway, there's double stick tape all around here. It's permanent. So all I'm going to do is start pulling my fabric on there. I guess I'll go from top to bottom, bottom to top. Start there, and then I'll go to the sides. It's basically, I'm not pulling or anything. I mean, I'm giving it a little something just so it's taut, but I'm not going crazy. And then I suppose I'll go here and I'll go here. there, and right there. Now I can take my pins out because it's not going anywhere. And then I'm going to take each of these little sections and pull them down so that there's kind of a, oh, let me make sure I'm in the camera. Okay, so like this section I would divide into two. I'm kind of just trying to take each of these little guys and pull them in a little more. So, and obviously I can like look and see it's looking really nice and round. Am I holding this too close? Hope that's not blurry. Ugh. Okay, I'll hold it down here. I think this is kind of the perfect angle. So each of these little sections, I'm just going in like this. And I mean, the tape's on there, so I don't have to do anything ridiculous to get this moving, going in the right direction here. And if I'm like, let's say I'm unhappy with here, I just pull it up again and kind of place it better. It's permanent tape, but it's a little bit flexible. It's not the end of the world if you have to pull it up a little and kind of fantastic. Yay, winning. That's, oh, he's got a crumb. That is how he's going to look. Now, notice you have a bunch of, I don't know if you can see, a bunch of fabric sticking up on here. So I'm going to take, actually, I have to run and get it, but I'm getting my tiny scissors. I actually like to use a curved scissor. So I have these little ones that you buy at the cross stitch store. They've got a little curve here. And basically I'm just going to go through here and nip off my extra bits. It does, you know, it's only going to stand up a little with, if you have a little fabric on the back, it's not like the end of the world or anything. So, and don't be scared to cut, you know, to really get in here and cut what you need off. I find this so much easier than needlepoint finishing. I have a video on finishing round needlepoint ornaments, and the canvas is so thick, and especially after the thread is in it, even if you do basket weave, it's pretty thick canvas. So it's kind of a lot of pulling and stuff. This is not a lot of pulling. I didn't have to like kill myself to get this on here. So, okay, so my next step is I cut out, now when you're cutting, just a tip, when you're cutting the foam core, your scissors, if they're not really sharp, they're gonna like bend the top of the foam core, and it looks like it's kind of gonna be a mess. I'm just gonna turn that around. So this side's perfect. This was the bottom side when I was cutting. When I was cutting the top, it was like bending and I was like getting stressed out, but don't worry. You're just gonna use this side. And you're going to, this is kind of the next step. You're going to put it on here. You don't have to use a layer of this on everything, this batting, but I do. It kind of softens the edges a little. I cut it a little, just a hair bigger than the piece, and it kind of just softens all my edges. I think it's a good idea. So I'm going to look through. I got myself some fabrics to see what was going to be cute for him. This might be too much green. Yeah. So I'm gonna actually decide on that. Got this little dachshund fabric. That would be cute if he works. But the thing is, you're only getting, you know, this much of the fabric. So you're not even gonna get, might get some dachshund faces, but you're not gonna get their whole head on it. Anyway, I am going to decide what fabric I'm doing, and I'm going to pause you for a second, okay? Ooh, if I can.